Welcome to day 10. Hi, replay viewers. There's a lot of replay viewers here. I love that. Thanks for coming back and consuming. And I wonder what the planet will be like when there's more people trusting themselves and trusting life. So yay for us. So thanks for being here. Post your name in the comments though, so I can say hello and see who's joining us. And we'll give it a minute for us to arrive. Hopefully this is actually recording. There we go. Somehow it doesn't show my picture anymore for that group. So if you're here, say hello so I know that we are actually in the group. Yay. Okay, Sonia's here. Cool. So we've got it going. Welcome. Yes. So today I wanted to play with some of the beliefs around, well, the beliefs that keep us from trusting life. And one of my favorite teachers on this, her name is Mary O'Malley, and she wrote What's in the Way is the Way. And even just the title of her book feels like an aha. Actually, it took me a while to actually read the book because I heard the title, What's in the Way is the Way. And I thought, yeah, do I need anything else? Do I even need to read the book? But anyway, she's a brilliant teacher, counselor, and teaches a lot on trusting life. And, this can be really difficult because it's easy to think, well, all of these things have happened in my life. Why would life do that to me? Like that kind of thing. And she really teaches a lot, and we're going to talk a lot about this, about how we can be in the flow of life and trust life and not have so much suffering, so that no matter what occurs, that we can arrive within ourselves and find that space of emotional well-being, which is what I talk about when I say, you have your back, when you begin to recognize that you can show up for you and that you are not separate from the oneness, the creative power, then you begin to open up to that flow of life and are less in the suffering. And you recognize more and more and more that you don't need to try to control life. Yay. Okay. Nikki's here. Louisa's here. Who else is here? So I was just, today I'm really wanting to play with some ideas around how we can trust life and be in the flow and experience less suffering. Because what creates the suffering is the expectations, the ideas that things should be different, or that we're grasping onto trying to control life. So we'll probably also do a little process that actually, let's do that now. We'll start with that. We're going to start with a meditation. And so as you arrive here, finding your pulse wherever you can find it, whether it's in your neck or on your wrist, or even finding your heartbeat. Take a moment to arrive into the space, finding that beat of your heart. And just begin to move with it. That may seem weird, but it's almost like you relax into the beat, the pulse, and you give yourself to it. And as you hear the bulldog snoring in the background, let that bring you deeper into the connection to your heartbeat, to your pulse. And as you're in this, acknowledging, saying hello to life, saying hello to the life force that is within you, that energy of your spirit, that energy that is one energy, the energy of the universe that is moving through you, beating your heart, just noticing what it feels like to be aware of that as life. And as you're aware of that, also notice how there's nothing you have to do to make this happen. So hello, if you're just arriving, finding the beat of your heart, finding your pulse, connecting in with this life force. Noticing, feeling that gratitude that there's nothing you have to think your way through or do or control or plan or protect or defend or even create or have a positive attitude around to make this happen. It just happens. And even when this energy no longer moves through your physical body, this energy that you're aware of that is expressed in this body, this energy that is your consciousness, never dies. Noticing what it's like to be aware of all of the places and spaces this energy fills in the universe. All of the lifetimes, the bodies, the beings, the plants, the animals, the bugs, the dirt, everything. Even things are energy. Tables, cars, houses, jewels, stones. Just being aware of all of the aspects of this and just noticing what you notice. You may even begin to sense where you have been. You may sense other places you are right now, other universes you are also in right now. Notice what it's like to not need to control anything, but just to be aware. And sensing and perceiving anything that your awareness is calling your attention to right now in this field of life, in this acknowledgement of life. What wants to be known to you right now? And it may come in the form of an energy or a nothingness or a space. But what wants to be known to you right now? Receiving and allowing that. No, you don't have to do anything. Just be in the flow of life, in the allowance of what you're noticing, what your awareness shows you, and how it arrives for you. And knowing that this space of consciousness and awareness is dynamic. It's not, oh yeah, what we did, oh, I did this thing with Macy a couple weeks ago, and that's how it is for me. No, this is a dynamic experience. Anytime you come back to this, you get to have another experience that represents that time and space and consciousness and life giving moment. Noticing here as you connect to the pulse of life. Noticing that it's noticing the oneness of it. The word alone, when you put a comma after the L, then is all one. So you're never alone. You may be alone in your space. You may live alone, but you're never alone. You are connected to all things. Everything you see is you. Everything you see is part of you. The chair, the strawberry, the tree, the neighbor, the ex-boyfriend, the angry mom, whatever it is, everything is you. And there may be moments where you forget that. But right now you can remember that you are connected, that life is supporting you, that life moves through you no matter what. Whether you're thinking about it or not, life is always here. And you'll shed your body and you'll go on. And then you may be aware of those times where you feel lonely, where you have a sense of loneliness. Loneliness is the gift that inspires us to remember connection, remember that we can choose to be in community, be around others, like actually physically be around other bodies. The loneliness piece is coming from the body's desire to be around other bodies. So let that be a guidance, an awareness. Oh, wow, okay. What could I create right now? But today, reminding you, your body, your being, that the story of I'm alone, that may come with I'm unlovable, that may come with I'm doing it wrong, that may come with there's a right way and I don't know it, so I'm doing it wrong. Whatever those voices of the inner critics are saying, right now we know the truth. Right now we're remembering the truth is that you can't do you wrong, that life supports you, that you're never alone. And the more that we can remember and remind ourselves of the truth, connecting back to the pulse of life that's just here, that over time we can dissolve those clouds of an illusion, the clouds that create suffering, the clouds that can come with a heaviness, and return back to the space of you in this pulse. So taking a sensory picture of this space, remembering the truth. On your next couple breaths, as you continue to be in the beat of your heart, whether you're feeling it with your hand or not, you can take your hand off and be aware of the beat as you begin to return back into the space, and then opening your eyes, knowing that you are not separate from any of this. I am that, I am that, I am that, I am that. Hi, Sandy. You might want to go back because we started a meditation. It might have been confusing when you joined. So that's, what was that like for you? In these, what Mary O'Malley talks about, which I love how she talks about it, she talks about limiting beliefs as spells, as the spells, because it's so true. We can get so seduced by the spells. whether they're the ones that we have taken on from our own life experience. But then there are the core ones, like, oh, I'm not lovable. I'm alone. I'm doing it wrong. I'm not enough. Those spells can be so seductive. And those are the ones that keep us from expanding into creating greater in our life. If we have this low humming of, the limitation, I can't, have what I want, or I'm not lovable, or whatever those things are, that wins. So it takes practice to continuously come back to that pulse of you. Notice, like, when you're in the pulse, they're really, it's space. There's almost no words that can describe what that is, because it's beyond that. And yesterday we talked about energy is our first language. So, this is the baseline space. I think the other day I mentioned, like, base camp. This is like, base camp is this pulse too. You could use that as your base camp. The base camp is like coming home to you and no longer being, tricked by the spells of the limiting beliefs. So what was that meditation like for you? What's it feel like to notice? Well, how does it feel to notice that your heart beats and you don't have to do anything? How good does that feel? I know for me that the more I remember that I don't have to control everything, that I don't have to do everything, that actually the being part is what creates the most. It's a space where, like, when you can have moments of quiet and presence, that you discover the truth. And, it doesn't mean that you're never going to take action. So that was the misunderstanding I had that kind of kept me from wanting to kind of give up the, hustle, pressure, doing, like, oh my gosh, I gotta, like, I'm probably doing it wrong. Like, that's what kept me, like, holding hands with a lot of these spells, because I thought, well, nothing's going to happen if I don't, do anything. But it's not that you're not doing anything. What happens is, in your beingness, as your being, you are inspired to create or take a step or make a choice. It's like the choices come from the being, and choice includes action. And sometimes they are actions that are like, whoa, yeah, that feels like a big choice. Whoa. One of my friends moved from Canada to Panama recently. And she was talking about how that was a big choice, but it was coming from a lightness. It was coming from a place of, like, wow, I have this knowingness that this is creating greater for me. So even though I'm terrified and there's a lot to do to move countries and to, bring our young kid and all that we want to bring with us, like, and find a place and get rid of this place, like all of the things that there was a sense of the flow of life occurring. So, anywhere where you've decided that being means that you are frozen and stiff and you just are waiting around for something to happen, will you please destroy and uncreate that? So, awesome. Somebody says, it was beautiful and relaxing. Got to tell my heart how grateful I am for it having my back all these years and how much I love it. Oh, that's so sweet. I love that. Yeah. Cool. So, anyone else want to share? Like, whatever it is that, begin to notice where you get seduced, because it is habitual. It becomes a habit where, we can buy into the I'm not enough, I'm not pretty enough, I'm not good enough, I'm not young enough, or whatever the thing is. I'm doing it wrong. Oh my God, I'm so alone. All of those spells. Like, if you notice that there's one that you do a lot, start asking yourself, like, what does this give me? I must be getting some kind of reward for buying into this. So what is it giving me? What does it give me to continuously tell my sad story, or buy into the limitations, or believe that I'm not good enough, or buying into the scarcity and all of that? Like, what does it actually give you? Does it give you attention? Does it give you, do people listen to you when you do that? Does it distract you from actually doing what you know you could do, but you're just not doing it? Does it make people laugh? I used to have that one a lot. I would tell the most pathetic stories. I would just lead with all my pathetic stories, but I would tell it in a way that would make people laugh, but I was still buying into all my pathetic stories, but I would get a laugh. So then it was hard to let go because it's funny. Like, I felt seen by that. My reward is a sense of letting go of control and just let life happen. Okay, that sounds like a reward in a creative direction, like in a way that's going to create more for you. I'm kind of talking about the ones where, we keep doing it over and over again, and we're not making a choice for something different. Like, we keep saying, I never have enough money. Like, we keep buying into that story, and yet it's like, well, what's on the other side of that? Like, what if that did work out? What are you scared? Are you scared you'll stand out? Are you going to be too rich and then people will attack you? What other beliefs are attached to that keep you using this one limiting belief? I've seen it with people who are single and say they want to be in a relationship, and I'll see them say stuff like, or just not take any action on it. And it's like, okay, well, then what is it about, so then they get to say, yeah, see, there are never any good ones for me. That may be a belief. There are never any good ones for me online dating doesn't work for me. And then by being seduced by that, then if they continue to be seduced by that and not choosing something different to create something different, then they get to be right. They get to be right. See, I'm going to be single forever. Like, so, you know, and I'm not saying that these specifically are, they're just a whole vast range. It's so when you have something that you keep choosing that you're saying you don't like, you have to ask yourself, what's right about this that I'm not getting? If this weren't a problem, what's the possibility? Or, you know, what's the benefit I'm getting when I choose this? Because there's some sort of win, there's some sort of gain, and it may not be, you know, it may not make sense. Like the thing with, you know, just getting to be right about the limitation, like, you know, like to be able to prove. There's just a whole vast range of things. I see this in RIM sessions all the time where there's like such an interesting thing. Like, who are you needing to piss off? Like, if you stay single forever, or does that actually benefit you because it pisses off your mom? Like, and it's kind of a win in that space. I don't know. Like, it's kind of an interesting thing to look at. So anyway, today, like, if you came later, go back and do the meditation, connecting to life. I called this "You Are Not Alone, but Are You Lonely?" But it was way more than that, so I may change the title. But anyway, thanks for being here. And we'll see a lot of you today at 11:30. So in a couple hours for day 5 of dating camp. If you're watching this in the future, hey, message me. I might have 5 days of dating camp I can send you. Anyway, I'm so grateful you're here, and we'll see you soon. Bye, everyone.